Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 173, and we've had a lot of events recently, but I did want to start with one significant event. I drank a Bud Light.
Gross.
In a while, and it was awful. It was terrible. I went to where the fuck was I? I've already forgotten where I had it. I went to Troni's. Have you been to Troni's?
No.
Very good Italian food over on Dorothy Lane, but they have bad beer selection. I think you're supposed to get wine, so I think they purposely have shitty beer. But I had a Bud Light, and it was not good. I'd forgotten how much I didn't like Bud Light.
It's incredible. That's At that point, I'm getting booze.
Yeah, I probably should have, but I didn't. I got a beer. I wanted a beer. That's what I wanted. I was in the mood. More places need to sell Busch Light. I don't know why they don't. Just it's probably not popular enough. People make fun of it still. Old people mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what you want to start with, but probably don't have to talk much about it. But the Super Bowl happened.
Super Bowl recap.
The champions are not local.
I won
this podcast.
I won both our bet and our prognostication.
Yeah.
So victory. That's the only Super Bowl bet I made was on the coin flip.
Yeah, I texted you right after the coin flip.
And then you happened to go homer and pick the Bengals, but your score was impressive. My score wasn't that far off, but I picked the victor. Hail to the victors.
What was my score? I forgot.
Your score, good thing I write this stuff down, is 21-19.
Ooh, I was close.
And then I had 29-22, which is the score that I stuck across all, even in my pick'em league. And work, we just threw our picks down. And
is that because of the rarity of those two numbers in football?
Yeah, I was trying to blend between the next big significant touchdown interval.
Yeah.
So 28 and 30 are often scored. So just instead of being right on, just cut your losses.
Cut your losses. That's a good statistical approach. So I don't know that we have to talk too much about the game itself.
I watched zero of it.
You didn't watch it? Okay. Well, Then we don't have to talk about anything. I will say, just from my own feedback, I enjoy watching the Super Bowl, so I try to make it a priority each year. This year's commercials were enormously disappointing. I don't think I had an audible reaction to a commercial until way late in the fourth quarter, and even that was really, I don't know, bad. It wasn't great. Commercials were fucking terrible.
That segue is awesome because the only piece of beer news that I have is I did a little bit of research on beer ads. So since 2019, according to iSpot, there's been a 19% decrease in beer ads. That study was conducted across the four major sports networks, which beer ad, so Fox News or Fox Sports, ESPN, CBS Sports, and I forget the other one, but the four major ones. And not only is it fewer minutes, it's just fewer ads in general. So talking about ads again, I didn't watch any of them, but beer ads are down 20% in just under 3 years.
Wow. Do you have any guess as to why that is?
Some people speculate that it's how people are ingesting media. A lot of cord cutters out there. That stat also doesn't include attribution to seltzers. Different, so that revenue might be going elsewhere. So I think it's a combination of both of those. I can't remember the last beer that I bought because of an ad. Besides, remember that Super Bowl ad? We bought that light beer. We did it on the pod.
Yep, I remember that. It was.
It wasn't a bad beer, but
it wasn't a bad beer,
I think we each bought a rack.
Yeah. Oh man, what was that?
I'm scrolling.
Golden white can.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the list right now. But if you hit me up, I'm sure that.
I'll hit you up.
Yeah,
but,
no. Continue.
Yeah, that's
with
what
your
I'm gonna
story.
do. I figured that's what you meant.
Yeah.
I think that there's a few contributing factors to that, in my opinion. One is that those channels don't primarily show live sports. ESPN does, I guess, sometimes basketball, maybe. I don't know. I don't have cable.
St. Archer Gold.
That's it. And Fox Sports 1. I don't even know if Fox Sports 1 is a channel anymore. Maybe it went back to Fox Sports. But all the regional Fox Sports, they show some baseball games. But largely, yeah, I think you're right. It's either seltzer or I just don't think that the beer ads are probably moving online. YouTube, maybe some streaming services. And they only analyzed the top 4 sports networks. I wonder how many beer ads are in like guy-centric TV shows. I don't know. I don't even have live TV. So I like speaking about commercials, because I remember my Phil was commenting on the fact that he had seen some of the commercials. And I was like, I would not have seen these commercials because I don't have live TV.
Yeah.
It never even occurred to me that someone may have seen the commercials, because I thought everyone pretty much cut the cord.
Yeah. I think I just proved next year will be 2 months since I've bought a beer that I learned about over a commercial.
Oh, so 2 months. That's not that long.
No. Next month will be 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, that's St. Archer Gold.
Yeah.
That was that was the only one. Otherwise, it's word of mouth. What other people are drinking, and when I get to the store.
Let's play a quick game.
Yep.
What is something that I could say to you right now that would make you go out and buy a beer?
Matt, I recommend this beer.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of people. Like if you do that, Aaron for sure, Chuggalo Stev, Chuggalo Mikey, and Chuggalo Ryan.
The thing about most
that's all
of
it would
those
take.
people is that they give it to you. They give you the beer.
Yeah, but if a distance thing or like so like on Untapped, a few people that I follow, like if they have a real banger, I will definitely put that in my list or write it in my planner. I mean, I've done that. There's beer notes in there, usually around Tuesdays or whatever. I try to get info from Pat. We've talked about Pat, and Pat will recommend things. And that's the thing. If I have a beer, like hypothetically, let's say, we throw down like a $20 for a 4-pack or something like that, and it's a disappointment. I guess I've catered my recommendation group enough where I'm not off put. I don't think I've had anything disappointing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because
I know exactly what you're saying.
People's beer tastes are akimbo to mine. So,
or at least they know what you're into.
Right. Yeah. Like, no one's going to suggest, to me like a ho hum saison or something like that. It's going to be, it's probably going to be a gimmicked beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably,
same here. I wonder, that would be actually really funny if you went around recommending just average beers to people. That'd be awesome.
Here's a warm Wild Ohio. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll like. That's a bad beer. That's actually a different kind of recommendation. I'm talking like a ho hum saison.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, you should really get this whatever it is, And then they have it, and they're like, I don't know. It was forgettable.
Yeah, this toxic saison.
Yeah, toxic saison. Yeah, every toxic beer I've had has been pretty safe.
But anyways, does the same go for you? Like if I reverse that, if I reverse that question to you.
Yeah. I think that if you recommend a beer, I would go out and get it. I'm trying to think of. I should have reworded it, but what's an enticing statement other than that? But yeah, I think that I'd be along the same lines. But I just want to hear that one ingredient. Stands out. It could be multiple ingredients, but I just like if someone came up to me and they're like, here's this IPA and the grapefruit is like just it's so prominent. I'm gonna go get that beer. Any ingredient is prominent other than the milk sugar. I don't want that shit.
I forgot one person, Tam Tots for sure, because Tam Tots always picks my first beer at King's Table.
I gotta give a outshot to King's Table real quick, which is rare for me because usually you have the stories. But we had a happy hour with my work group.
Yep.
And someone got the Branch and Bone. It's called something Slop. Is one of the beers they have, Hoppy Slop or something like that. And they got it, and it was fucking awful. And I was like, oh, and everyone was kind of like, wow, Branch and Bone, that's weird. They're usually on point. Well, like an hour and a half later, one of the bartenders came by with a free glass of beer for that person and said, I accidentally gave you the wrong beer earlier. This is the one you actually ordered.
Do you know who it was?
Awesome. I don't know. She was short. Older, maybe late 40s.
Maybe Mary.
Yeah, she was really nice about it, and they had a good laugh, and we all said, oh, that makes sense. And then they tried it, and they were like, this is great. So Branch and Bone they live on still.
Branch and Bone, Cosmic Slop.
Cosmic Slop, that's it.
I love bars that put their freaking menu on Untapped.
So awesome. Cosmic Slop, that's a great name. I've been really into this show. I Think You Should Leave. It's on Netflix, and it's only 15 minutes long, each episode. So it's totally consumable for me.
Yeah.
There's this skit they do where Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus, decides that he wants to be an actor in Hollywood. Yeah. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh, okay. And so he's in this really, really raw and edgy cop film, swearing, blood, murder, all kinds of stuff. And he's out for vengeance because someone killed his wife. And he keeps calling his movie Cosmic Gumbo. He's like, it's a real cosmic gumbo between this and that. And it's funny. When you said Cosmic Slop, that's it. That's my story.
I like it.
Good.
Selling it. You're like
I'm glad you liked it. I Think You Should Leave is the funniest show I've seen in 10 years, 10 or more years. It's a great show. I've watched it like at least 4 times, I think.
I didn't want you to bury the lead. What beer news do you have?
Beer news. The only beer news I had was that I had.
Or what's happening?
Bud Light. What's happening?
Oh, the Bud Light. Gotcha.
I had a Bud Light.
Ugh, gross.
Yep,
I shouldn't have revisited on that. That's on me. Shame on me.
I have been waiting for this epic tale of Pat and Matt reminiscing about my visit.
So anyways, wow, you caught me with my pants down.
Oh,
I'm wearing pants. Okay. So so last week after the pod, so what day was it that I went? Was it Thursday? Either way, after the pod we were talking, and so I was like, hell, if they have 450. So I messaged Hall's Corner Store on Facebook, and I go, hey, do you guys still have any 450 in? And he goes, yep, we have, whoever it was that responded to me. And we have 3 different kinds. And I go, sweet, I'll be in tomorrow. So I swung in, and Pat was there to greet me. And it was after work, and I had a class later in the day. So I know it was right around noon, and Pat was in. And it wasn't chilled. I assumed that the 450 was going to be chilled. So I was like, hey, Pat, where's the 450? And he goes, oh, it's there on the shelf. So he comes around. He's not just going to tell you, oh, it's aisle 5. Very small store for outsiders. It's like a 6-aisle store. Yeah. It's a small gas station, but not a lot of open space, like packed aisles. And I go, by chance, was there somebody that asked about me or whatever? And he goes, yeah, where's your bandana? So I go, I'm wearing my tie and everything from work. And we had this laugh, and I go, my podcast partner thought that I wear, and he goes, a bandana out in public, which I do sometimes, but very rarely. And I told this story to Stacy, and she goes, yeah, you're usually coming from work. And I go, yeah, there's probably been one time in the last year where I've gone there outside of coming home from work and making a loop. Yeah. So we had a laugh. He goes, he was convinced, Matt, he was convinced that I knew you. And I go, we do know each other. He goes, he should have said Matt from Wisconsin. And I go, yeah, he just attributed it by my bandana, which is probably my biggest distinction most of the time.
Is this not in public?
Besides, this is public domain. Besides being a gigantic asshole. And so we were giggling back and forth, and he goes, "Hey, if anyone asks as I'm leaving and I'm carrying," finally I grabbed a flat, probably the most expensive flat of beer I've bought with all the different kinds of stupid shit I bought on there. But I'm glad because most of the time I'm trying to carry like 17 things out and opening my car door, so I got a flat. And he goes, "Your secret's safe with me. If anyone comes here asking for you, I'll say I don't know you." Like I'm some sort of criminal.
I'm going to start sending people in asking for you. He's going to think you're John Wick after a while, that there's just people after you.
Because he always asks that I go in there with enough curiosity. He's like, "Hey, have you been home anytime?" Because I told him I'm from where Brewing Project is made from, because he's like, he thinks he's always behind the power curve on Brewing Project. But I think as we transition here, I think like Centerville just lost one of their big beer stores. They're closing up shop, a really popular one. There's a lot of people on Facebook on Dayton Beer Geeks that are disappointed in its closing. I'd never been there, but
what is it? Which one?
Centerville Corner Stop or Stop and Shop or something like that. It looks like a small, like a Halls. But everything is like half off right now, and people are like, "Oh, everything's half off right now. Most of it's picked over, but come in here."
I saw that post. Yeah.
Could you imagine if Halls closed down and everything was half off? I mean, the amount of money, especially with what are we going for here first?
We're going with the Pipeworks first.
Just so excellent, just so I can be prepared. God, I'd be crushed, and two, I can't even tell you how much money that I would spend there. Especially with that 450 now, he's gonna start pursuing it a lot more.
That's good. I hope he does, but I hope he can get some sort of like Ohio discount, because I can't pay those prices every time. Not that I'm cheap, just
don't worry.
I walked out with a lot of beer.
There was other people that split them too, so I don't know. Yeah, he because I go. He had them stacked in front. I go, "Pat, do you have anywhere it's all four?" Because I only went 2 deep in each column. And he goes, "Yeah, it's behind." He goes, "There's been people that have been sticker shock." So he goes, "I've been allowing people to split them." And I was like, fuck it. I don't care. You only live once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I had sticker shock as much as I was deciding which one to get.
Yeah.
I was going to get 2, no matter what, 2 4-packs. So I knew I was going to get one of them. And then he came by and was like, "Hey, if you want to mix them, mix them." I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So I was, I guess it's sticker shock, but at the same time, it's like I have a budget. I can't walk out with $90 in beer, and I only have 3 4-packs.
We're gonna need you to pump those numbers up.
You gotta pump them up. Yeah. I'll talk to Katie. She'll say no, but I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
So I can say I did.
You gotta start cracking into that Acorns account of yours.
Oh no, I don't touch the Acorns account. You gotta let that ride.
Me too. There's just less baseball cards. There's
somewhere. I get
the
baseball cards too. You can get them both. See, they're there. All right, let's do some beer.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thursday.
All right, this is your Brain on Brunch. It is from Pipeworks Brewery in Chicago, Illinois. Lots to talk about Pipeworks. We've talked about Pipeworks a million times, but let's crack this thing open. Let me get it. You all ready? Loaded? 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, this is a maple syrup and pancake butter maple imperial stout. I made up all that other stuff. It's actually just a maple imperial stout, but the can art has some pancakes, and it does smell buttery. I'm not going to get into my review yet.
You threw that into my as I was taking my first. Wow, your ability to influence me was phenomenal.
I'm
there.
So sorry. I didn't mean to do
that. No. Like amazing.
I'm gonna have to give myself a down smiley or a frown.
Please
down
don't.
Smile or frown, whatever you.
Had it been upsetting, I wouldn't have said anything.
All right, this is Matt gets his bearings on this beer. This is a 10.3% beer, and it's
really.
Pipeworks. We've done Pipeworks before. Did I say that already? And we've talked about them, but I actually found something that I thought we've never talked about. It's not funny or anything. It's just they have a frequently asked questions page on their website, which I find to be a good thing because there are some frequently asked questions that I frequently ask about a brewery. So I want you to ask me a question. If I'm Pipeworks, ask me a question and I'll tell you whether or not it's a frequently asked question. And if I have the answer, I'll give it to you.
Do you use vegan ingredients?
Oh, very good question. That question is not available on their frequently asked question. That's a good question that I think would be asked.
Especially with all the fun
there's
people.
So many vegans in Chicago. Here's some of the questions. Do you have a tap room? They don't. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that because when we've talked about going there, we had to discuss that they didn't have one.
Okay. Let's see. Are you hiring? Nope. The answer is no. Do you give tours? No.
Wow.
No. How can I become a Friends with Benefits member, which is a membership enrollment that they had? Nope. The answer is no. That's been gone since 2013.
Wow.
When are you going to distribute to X state, county, or country? The answer? Nope. Hopefully soon. Nope. We don't do that. And that's it. It's pretty much all no's, except, hey, they have merch. And if you want to sell their beer, not just find it in another store in your state, if you want to be that seller, it's listed, I don't know, sales at Pipeworks something or other. We don't get a lot of, unless Pat's listening, we don't get a lot of store owners trying to sell their beer. And Pat already sells it because that's where I got this beer. That's it. That's their frequently asked questions. If you have any other questions, ask.
So JT, I got a question. How do I? Never mind. I just did it.
I do want to do a website review for the size of Pipeworks, which I feel is large, not like Bud Light or not like Anheuser-Busch or anything. But it's a big craft brewery. Their website fucking sucks. It's terrible. That's my website review.
I had two questions. I just figured it out. One was while you were talking, I finally put in our spreadsheet ABV and style, which I should have been doing for a long time. Nice. I just put that in there now. I was going to ask you how to Excel since it's 10.8, Excel wants to already round it up to 11, but I figured that out really quick, and then I put in the style of beer. Two, I forgot, in this edition of Why Minnesota Sucks, they're the only state in the union, if you produce more than 20,000 barrels of beer, you cannot have on-site growler fills. You can't.
That's a weird.
They're the only state, and that's why blue laws suck, and that's why Minnesota sucks. I'm gonna get some feedback on that, and that's perfectly.
Blue laws do suck, though.
Perfectly fine with that. How many times, JT, have we done Pipeworks on the podcast?
I'm gonna say this is the 4th time.
This is the 6th time.
Whoa! Oh, I forgot about the. Are you including the Christmas stuff? The Advent?
No, I didn't put that. I didn't put that on my. That's not on the spreadsheet.
There were 2 in there, right? There was the unicorn versus reindeer.
Rudolph. Yeah.
And then one other one.
Yep. I still have that list. That list will always be on my beer fridge. Sorry, Stacy.
Nice.
And then with that, I'd like to get to my beer thoughts on this one.
I'd like to hear your beer thoughts.
So JT, when you the timing and the influence that you had on me, it tasted like a big old fucking stack of pancakes. Like as you were saying that, and I was so satiated because I don't crave pancakes. The only time I would really order pancakes, like when I would go out to a restaurant or whatever, was Perkins, and the Perkins Tremendous 12 is the best value. Like if you're a homeless individual and you could have one meal And for under $10, the Perkins Tremendous 12 with 3 plate-sized pancakes, 3 eggs, 4 pieces of meat, and a gigantic pile of hash browns. The Tremendous 12, it puts you in a food coma. They have to bring it out on
Sounds awesome.
2 plates. So off the top rope, if I could just grade it on what JT was saying, and I was drinking, this would have been the best beer I've ever had in my life. This is breakfast beer in a can. Off the top rope, this is a 4.75. This is a absolutely goddamn dynamite beer. Excuse my language. This is what I would hope to order if I'm having a brunch, which I hopefully will be having a week from Friday. I plan on making a beer trip. I plan on going to that place that Alex. What was his nickname? I forget. Your boy Alex.
Yeah. What did we call him? I don't remember.
Crap. I plan on finding that place
Doctor
again.
Something.
No, yeah, Doctor. Anyways, I plan on stopping by that place because I think I'm gonna be.
Oh yeah, that place was awesome. You're going south.
Yeah, I'm going south. I think that lady made it too. Like she was like all down for the 4 of us for the last Bobo. So again, off the top rope, amazing beer, 4.75.
Yeah, excellent review. So I was influenced myself by the can art, and I'll talk about that. This is the can art boner segment brought to you by Manual.
Nope,
we got a new one, right? It was Stev. It's always Stev and Manual. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. So this can art it has that like picnic blanket kind of look to it. I guess that's called buffalo check. Maybe it is. There's a few different kinds.
Interesting.
Of red and black,
I just learned something new.
Red and black pattern here.
Plaid.
One of the red and black checkered plaid patterns is called buffalo check, and that is what we buy. My wife buys blankets in that pattern. That's why I know that. And then it's got a nice, just hearty stack of pancakes there with butter and syrup. Oh, man, it looks awesome. And then they're pouring, well, I guess that's not syrup if they're pouring beer on it. They're just pouring this beer on the pancakes.
So good.
This can has a lot of appeal. And the aluminum is actually, I don't know what this is, if it's like some sort of plastic film or what, but it's black. So it actually darkens the can, which makes it stick out more from the rest of the beers that have stickers like this, because those are all that silver chrome aluminum color, and this is black. Can art it's really good. It's a drawing of pancakes with butter. That's Can Art Bonus segment brought to you by Stev. Thanks, Stev. The beer itself, so there is the breadiness of a pancake is definitely in this beer.
Take a drink. Pancake. Breakfast. No, pancake. Do it again. Do it again.
All right, tell me.
Tall stack, buttery, just pancakes. You did such an influencing job on me. It was amazing.
Like when I opened this can and I smelled it before tasting it, it was butter. It's all butter. There's I lost it.
I'm sorry.
I had a specific. No, it wasn't. I had a specific. It was the Can Art Boner segment. I had a specific stack of pancakes that I was thinking about in my mind that this reminded me of, but I can no longer remember what it is. But there's this. I don't remember. But there's an instance where you get pancakes. Well, let me talk about pancakes first. In my life, pancakes in my life. This is Pancakes in Your Life, in My Life by JT. New segment. I don't particularly like pancakes. I think that it's too much for breakfast. I like to get full at breakfast, but I think that pancakes are just too much. But I've had 2 resurgences of pancakes in my life where I actually started to get down with pancakes again.
Color me interested.
One was when the McGriddle came out, because I had not thought to make a sandwich out of pancakes. I think that's a killer idea. So if you just make them a little smaller,
yeah,
and it's the bread, and now you can have a sandwich. You don't need to go to McDonald's for this. You can do this at home. Amazing. Wow, that's a great idea. I never thought to make pancakes into a sandwich. And the second thing, I don't know if it's always been around, but I did not discover Nutella until I was an adult. And when I did, I replaced the syrup with that. And man, is that not the best morning treat every, couple months. Just grab 2 or 3 pancakes and put Nutella in between each one. That's good stuff.
You grew up poor like me. Did you have your breakfast at school paid for?
We didn't have breakfast at school as far as I remember.
Oh, really? So we had breakfast at school, and they had So instead of a corn dog, they had sausage and dipped in pancake batter.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And that was delightful. So when you're
we
saying
had
like,
that in Market Day. Did you have Market Day?
No.
Well, my mom was. Well, I'll have to ask her because she was. She worked in the lunch cafeteria or in the school cafeteria for a while. Did we have breakfast? I don't remember. But we had those pigs in a blanket on a stick, basically.
Yeah, but so that's I remember. So your mom was a lunch lady?
Yeah.
My grandma was a lunch lady.
Oh yeah.
I think about this. Do lunch ladies give the best hugs as far as a profession goes?
I don't know that I've hugged too many other lunch ladies other than my own mother.
So that's two remarkable ladies that I know that give pretty good hugs.
I'm just like the pancake story. I'm going to give you a little insight into my life. I'm not a big hugger. I don't think that I could rate them.
So weird.
Yeah, not a huge hugger. I don't particularly like touching people. I'm not like I'd hug you.
Yeah.
And pretty much anyone in your family because we know each other. But if like I
100%.
met any of your friends from Wisconsin or even Joe, for example, no, we did not hug. We did not embrace like that. A handshake or a hey, hi, how are you?
Yeah, no, a hugger.
I gotta know you. And I won't rate that hug. I'll be like, that was a hug, period. Just a statement. But this beer, okay, so I've had some pancakes. There's a specific instance where you get just smoking hot pancakes that the butter melts right away. One of two things happen. Either you get those pancakes that are made with like rubber and the butter just dribbles off, or you get those real absorbent spongy pancakes and the butter just like soaks in. And then the syrup soaks in. I'm remembering I have just this sensory memory of eating pancakes where the butter and the syrup were soaked into the pancakes and a lot of butter probably. And that's exactly what this beer tastes like. It tastes like butter pancakes. I cannot describe it any differently. Awesome beer. It's so thick, and it's like it's not too sweet. It's not too bitter. It really does have the perfect balance. It takes all those stout staples and just hides them under the pancakes. Gosh, I don't know. There's one thing that I'm thinking about this beer that's like, it's a lot to take for breakfast, but it's not sweet. It's not bitter. It's just something about this beer is like, whoa, I don't know, like at breakfast if I'd be ready for this beer. But I also think it's a really good beer. As far as advertising its flavors, it nailed the flavors of this beer. They could probably even not put maple imperial and put maple butter pancakes, even though the picture says it all. I'm at a 4.5 on this beer just because of that. Like, I don't know if I would be ready for this beer at breakfast. I don't know if I'd be ready for this beer at all. And it's a one. You're having one of these for sure. You're having one of these.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna have two.
Yeah, no, you need a palate cleanser after this.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I looked just briefly so I could preload the spreadsheet because I've gotten weeks behind on the spreadsheet and I have to go back to my planner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I'm glad you picked the order the way you did.
Oh, good. Yeah, I kind of did it for that.
I think that was an educated guess. Most of the time I fly by the seat of the pants. I feel like you put thought into this.
No. It was a guess. It was a total educated guess. I was excited. I'm more excited about this next beer, but now I'm thinking I was wrong, but maybe we'll see. This pancake beer was just absolutely wonderful. But we'll get on to the next beer, unless you have any final comments on that previous.
Unga Burble.
Unga Burble. This is 8-Bit Brewing Zombie H-Whip or
both
Whip.
These cans Whip. Both these cans have been primed today.
So I had to look up Whip because I thought H-Whip was going to be something. It's not.
Nope.
It's a whip. It's the play on the whip. H. Oh man, this is primed like it's
these
practically already up. It's practically straight up.
Both of these cans.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Both these cans, I love it.
All right, this is Zombie Whip, and it is a. It's actually from Beer Zombie Brewing Company and 8-Bit Brewing Company.
Yep.
Zombie Whip style fruited sour ale, brewed with peach, vanilla, fluff, and lactose. So I actually, when I bought this beer, I did recall and remember you saying you didn't like peach. And I do like peach. I hope that didn't influence your score. I hope you went into this totally unbiased.
Didn't know there was peach in it.
Did you try it yet?
Yes. One of my favorite beers is actually a peach beer that I think about it. It's a Dogfish Head pet shape. It's a sour. It's an old school sour. That one that's been around for like 7-8 years. And I really like that because it's a really clean beer.
Yeah. Peach can be clean. It can also be just loaded with lactose and feel sticky.
Have you had any of those 450s yet?
No.
I haven't rolled any of them. Please roll it because when you get to the bottom, there's a significant surprise if you don't.
All right. I will roll it.
Fucking shake that shit up, man. I understand why people pour into a separate receptacle. I don't like to do it because people have some really cool glasses. I have some glasses, but not like what these other people have.
What do you think about my glasses? Are these cool?
Nah, you need to go to warbyparker.com.
I need transition lenses. Oh wait, I do have them, and I hate them. All right. 8-Bit Brewing's out of Murrieta, California, or at least they're out of San Diego. I don't know if they're one of the two breweries I listed is from Murrieta, which is north of San Diego, and one of them I think is from San Diego proper.
So they're both from like the San Diego area.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just take back what I said because I don't know where Beer Zombie's from. I'm going to look them up. I actually did not know they were a part of this until 5 seconds ago.
Sure. So I had that on the list. I thought maybe you'd come around to that. So as JT's looking that up, the thing that's unique about this beer, this is an 8% fruited sour. So this packs a punch. Yeah, typically fruited sours find their comfort between like a 3.5 and like a 6 on the higher side. So the fact that this comes in a little bit more gravity just shows that the balance between Beer Zombies and 8-Bit, they really had to put some thought into this. Sorry, Stacey, and the fact that it comes with lactose too, so it's cut with lactose to still rein in the pint can at 8% is significant.
They are from Las Vegas, Nevada. Beer Zombie, and I'm going to actually read a little bit of this bio. Brewing up everything from hazy IPAs, decadent stouts, fruited sours, and our core clean beers. With our love of horror films reflected in our can art, we have wrapped all of our delicious beers in an amazing package. So they actually do focus on can art, which I like. As a can art fan, they did not focus too much on their website, though. There's like no information on this website. It just says go to our social media. You'll find everything you need there.
I feel like we're becoming more of a broken record on this where like you and I will go to like an About Us or a FAQ or whatever. And most of these websites, they aren't telling their story. I feel like that's becoming more of the maybe the transition, maybe we're the boomers now or whatever, and everyone goes to like TikTok or Insta Twitter or whatever to get information.
Yeah, let's think about it though. Do you care about the About Us outside of this podcast?
No.
Yeah, so maybe it's just worth not doing. Maybe that's their evaluation. Just let's have a website so people can find our brewery.
Interesting, yeah. So I guess
there's been some stellar websites out there.
There have been,
and I think that
we've highlighted them.
We sure have. You have.
No, we both have.
I never have. All right, Beer Zombie, 8-bit. I have the 8-bit site. There's nothing interesting about it. I had something to say, but I closed that page on accident. So it's their website. It's fine. Oh yeah, I remember what I had to say. On their website, they actually have food listed before beer as a link. Don't do that. Don't sell yourself short like that. All right, you got thoughts?
I'm glad that you ran down the ingredients like you did. This does taste like a cream inspired peach lifesaver. So not the fruited lifesavers, but like the cream edition or whatever, where the peach would be swirled in with it.
I remember that.
So I guess it's accurate on that. I like that it packs a punch because that's one thing I'm discovering with my fruited beers or my gimmicked beers is I appreciate that they're coming up in gravity. What I'm not appreciating is I can't drink a lot of them. So like I've had a few of these 450s that you and I have purchased, and boy, do they leave me like I'm having thick crust pizza. God, I love them, and they are amazing to behold. But like I was sitting there this Sunday, Stacy and I, earlier in the day, because I cracked my first one, before 9 o'clock, and I was like, man, this like it weighs on you. And this beer has that too. So it might be some of like the milk sugar or whatever. And the fact that I'm eating really clean and only for a couple hours a day.
Oh, you're eating clean?
Oh yeah. Just chicken and veggies right now.
You haven't gotten into the cheese crisps? Is that
no, I've been starting to look for like protein snacks or whatever, but we're just doing chicken and veggies right now. We got to get that beach bod on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I got 4 days.
Drinking this, and here we are drinking like these calorie bombs.
Yeah, YOLO.
Off the top rope, I give this beer a 3.75. I want my peach cleaner, I guess, and not heavy, because that Festa Peach, by the way, that's the beer that I like from Dogfish Head, where it's a cleaner sour. I do like the name Whip. I remember back in the old school days of doing this podcast, we'd say wheat. It's a wheat beer. So this is a Whip beer. Off the top rope, 3.75. I love the gravity in it. The flavors are as promised. They just don't do it for me.
All right. This Counter Bonus segment brought to you by Stev. I do like what they did here. A little juxtaposition, I guess. Maybe more of an amalgamation. It's 8-bit zombie art.
That's really high def 8-bit, by the way. Mario
super
and friends
high def
did not
8-bit.
Fucking look like that in 8-bit.
Super high def 8-bit. Yeah. I've always maybe you could shed some light on this. 8-bit to me seems like the color ramp, the color scale ramp. 8-bit would be what, 256 colors? But it's the pixelation is it more about the resolution? I don't really understand it, I'll be honest. How does Mario work? How does that game work from a technology standpoint? Inside that game, there's like some sort of computer chip or
Yeah.
What the fuck is it? How does Nintendo work? Let's talk about that.
So I'm glad you brought up Mario. I've never beat Mario. Chuggalo Mikey beat Mario when he was 4. I think he wasn't 5. He probably knows his way through the maze to this day. I'm trying to take a crash course. That's why my screen brightened up. I'm on the wiki for 8-bit. And this looks like stuff that I can't discern when I'm not drinking beer. But
I always thought 8-bit was about the amount of colors you could show. And 16-bit doubles that, or it's some sort of magnitude greater.
I believe it's a resolution and rendering.
It's resolution and rendering. All right.
Yeah.
But okay, so now Nintendo, inside that thing, we do that all the time. I don't know if you did, but I had a Nintendo game, blowing it, did nothing.
Still have a Nintendo.
There's like a little board in there, circuit board, or some sort of board that has data on it.
Yep.
How does that work?
Beer podcast, man. Yeah, you know what? Another 4 or 5 of these, I'd be able to explain it to you.
You can tell me.
It just makes sense.
I feel like I consider myself somewhat of a technologist. I understand data from I'm just so good at it.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Nintendo works. And I feel like that's archaic technology. We've moved way beyond that. But to be honest with you, I also don't understand how CDs work.
Oh, okay. So that I understand, because people are like, how come my CD that let's go with a halftime show. My Eminem CD from 20 years ago has a scratch on it and it will still play, but my Blu-ray disc has a fingerprint on it and it won't play. And that's because of how densely packed the information is. So when you put a scratch on a CD, you're basically putting an interruption in a place where there's a room, and let's say a 10 by 12 room, and there's 3 people in that room. Well, if you put a line through that room, you're still going to be able to read most of that data, because there's only 3 people. So in a Blu-ray room, there'd be 1,000 people in that room. And if you put a line through it,
people are going to get spliced.
Some of those people are standing on that line. Yeah. So you're not going to be able to read it.
That's a great explanation about that particular thing. So
it's 100% compression.
The laser, is that an active thing where it hits the CD and comes back to the receiver, to the DVD player?
The laser head, yeah.
That's the information. All right. That's all I needed to know.
It's the same with like a record, it's just what is transmitting the data. So instead it's a fixed metal.
Yeah. Scratching.
Whether it's 45 or 75, 72, excuse me. But yeah. So then it's different between a CD and like a Blu-ray.
That's amazing, by the way. Records are amazing. Like that technology blows my mind.
Vinyl
to do that.
Vinyl is making a return.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the first year it's had an uptick. I think it outsold CDs this year.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there's something. I know you only come here for your facts, but I know it's.
Fuck CDs. I don't want that shit.
It's one of those data is beautiful things on Reddit.
Oh yeah, I love those. My 14-year-old son asked for a record player for his birthday.
Crazy. So he's gonna become a DJ.
No, he's not. Anyway, I still don't understand how Nintendo works, but I'm sure I'll get it someday. All I have to do is look it up. Did I talk about this can art? It's
nailed it, yeah.
8-bit, just juxtaposition or a merging of two things. And there's a basket of shitty 8-bit fruit. That's the can art bonus segment brought to you by Stev. Thanks, Stev. That was on him. That's on Stev.
Yeah. Stev, you're a real piece of work.
So this beer, the Whip is the flavor. Super prominent. It's like a Whip sour. If you just called it a Whip sour, nailed it. There's peach. You can kind of taste it, but it's not a prominent flavor. like if I had this beer without knowing there was peach, I probably wouldn't guess peach.
This is a line of beers from them, by the way. I'm going to check in my beer. This is not. They do a lot of these.
Okay. Well, I like the whip part. I actually really like. This beer addresses the problem that I have with a lot of lactose beers. They're too thick and sweet, whereas this one has an airiness, and it's not just because it says fluff that's just influencing my mind. It does. It has this. It's thick and sweet on the tongue, but in the breath, it's super airy.
Yeah,
and it's almost all vanilla, almost exclusively vanilla on the breath, which is why the peach is so disappointing because I love peaches. Peaches have a lingering taste if you eat the raw fruit. This does not. But I don't not like this beer. I'm more into it than Matt is. I could see a lot of potential in doing a whole line of these, but you need to amp up that fruit. You really have to amp up that fruit if you're going to make this like a staple. Not that I'm a brewing business guru or anything. I've only had a few beers. So take my advice or don't. I don't care. I do like it though. 4.0 for me, just because they nailed that fluff and it was not overly lactose. I think that's just an accomplishment all in itself. In and of itself.
Sorry,
I had two good beers today, 4.5 and a 4.0.
Yeah, our scores average out to the same.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Just impromptu planning here. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
March 18th.
March 18th. Interesting date. Let me check. Well, the
it's
listeners,
a Friday.
Oh, probably nothing. Or probably I'll be in meetings most of the day, but I'm gonna just skip them. Yeah, nothing. Doesn't look like anything.
Should we do an actual YouTube live? Now we can do YouTube live.
We can do live. We should. Like Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that is a good idea.
Check it in, just make sure.
Let me see if I can find this
we
game.
Get our So that's a possibility that we have coming up.
I'm in.
Mark your calendars for March 18th. We're going to do YouTube live. We have enough subscribers. We discovered that's what it was before that prevented us. But now that we have enough subscribers, thank you for subscribing to the Brew Crew Podcast YouTube channel. We will go live. We will answer questions. Yeah. If you ask a question, if you come in and ask a question, I guarantee Matt, will buy you a beer. Ooh. If I have to send you money to ask a question, just can be redeemable once. I will send money out.
Send money to ask a question.
Tell your friends.
I'll help Matt out with that.
Make them subscribers because I think we're on the precipice of something big here.
I think all question askers should get something.
Oh yeah, all question askers, and not like what color underwear, like something fun. It can be cheeky. That's okay. But come and drink with us.
Like live in person?
No, I'm saying during the broadcast. We'll figure out a time. We understand that a lot of our fans are from different time zones or whatever, so we'll make it an amicable. But it'll be a Friday night. It'll be the day after my birthday, so we could celebrate and also recover from St. Patty's Day the day after. Because I'm probably gonna take that day off. Who knows?
The whole day.
Who knows? Maybe I just we start recording at like 3:00 and I
take the day off. We go to Indiana.
Maybe JT takes the day off.
I have to let me put
this was not pre-planned. This is just spitballing. This is coming up with ideas.
Maybe off.
This is what it's giving the Chuggalos what they want.
This is giving the Chuggalos what they want. That's 100% true. And speaking of giving the Chuggalos what they want, I have a game to play. Do you want to play a game? It'll be quick. 3 things.
Oh yeah, 3 things. I've got.
You got what?
Tall, dark, and handsome. Boom.
You win. You win the
Episode
game.
173.
I'm gonna do. This will be a super quick game. This game is sex position or hops.
Oh, this is excellent. Is this the one you've been sitting on for a while?
I've been sitting on this game for a while. I gotta play it now because I'm starting to forget what I put together here, and it actually did take me a little while to put this game together. So hopefully I don't fuck it up. The catch here is that I'm gonna try to read the sex positions cleanly, but I have them written down dirtily. Like the ones that are sex positions and the
dirtily,
they're straight copy and pasted off like Urban Dictionary, so they're fucked up. The ones that aren't real, they're also fucked up. So hopefully you don't know the difference between real and not real. So this game is sex position or hops. I believe I only did 3 of these because it did take I did 4. It took a long time to put this together. Okay. Which one of these is true? Okay. A hop called Green Bullet. New Zealand's Green Bullet. Hops were produced as a result of cross-pollination with the smooth cone from the same region. Or Cold Lunch. Is this a real sex position? It is. Now, this is written pretty dirtily. How do I even say this? It's Cold Lunch is when the oral receiver, there's the person giving the oral, is provides oral in such a intense way that it makes them vomit. But even though the vomit is coming, they continue. So is it Cold Lunch, or that's a sex position, or is it Green Bullet, that's a hop?
So just so I understand, one of them is definitely a hop and one of them is a sex position.
I'm going to say this one I fucked up. The rest of them is the same name between the two. This was the first one I developed, so I was still trying to figure this game out. Yeah, one is either the hop is really a hop or the sex position is really a sex position, and the name is correct for the one that's true. So it's either Cold Lunch or Green Bullet.
Green Bullet is true. It's a hop.
Green Bullet's true. It's a hop. It's a hop from New Zealand that came out in 1972 from New Zealand, and it is a cross-pollinated hop with an alpha range. This is something you know about. I don't really understand alpha ranges. Between 11 and 14. And 16 is the highest, right? Is that true?
Yeah. Well, there's higher ones than that, but 16 is like, yeah.
So this is pretty hardcore. All right, next one. So now the names should line up for the rest of this game. Okay. Yeah. So the name is Helga, or Helga.
Helga. Yep.
Is Helga a hops from Australia that has a German character from Variotol, Heller Tower, Middlefra?
Will you spell Helga? Is it Helga or Hilga?
Helga. Helga.
Okay. That's not how my great grandmother spelled it.
Its alpha acids would be between 5% and 7.5%. Or is it a sex position where you are having relations with a larger partner inside of a walk-in freezer, creating an Icelandic environment? Is the Helga a sex position in with a larger partner in a freezer, or is it an Australian hop?
It's an Australian hop.
It is an Australian hop. You got it. That's true. The Helga is primarily found in Eagle Rock Brewery beers. Okay, so if you know who that is, enjoy those beers. So the next one is Medusa. Is Medusa a sex position or a hop?
It's a sex position.
Okay. Is it a sex position? Do you know what it is?
No, it just sounds. It doesn't. It just sounds sexual.
Well, it could be the
staring at each other.
I actually just copied the hop definition from a different hop, so it would sound real.
Yeah.
And it's Medusa is a Neo-Mexicanus hop lineage native to Colorado and New Mexico. Obviously wrong, right? Because it's Medusa. It doesn't sound right. Or is it a sex position that is sex so good that during and post climax you turn to stone? Also, that I found in Urban Dictionary that if you're a part of the Viagra takers who can't get it to go down after 4 hours, that's also called a Medusa.
Jesus.
Because of the stone thing. Last one is a ninja.
Please go see your doctor if you suffer from priapiss after 4 hours.
If you suffer from Medusa's disease, see a doctor. The next one, last one, ninja. Is it a hop or a sex position? Is ninja a Japanese hop created from a mix of Brewer's Gold hops, Sazer parent hops, and beaky male hops?
Will you spell Saz? Saz?
Sazer, Saazer. Sazer. Or is it a sex position where you're having sex, quote, on mute, quietly, because other people are in the room?
This is a really good question. So whatever part that you took in this, because both of these would make sense.
Both of them make sense. This is when I started getting really good at making this game, which was the last question.
Because Saz hops is a real thing. It's in like Czech and Pils beers.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I'm gonna go with hops. It's hops.
It is the sex position. It is doing it in a room with other people quietly so they don't hear you. I'm sure they hear you though. Let's be honest.
They're just letting you get your game on.
They're just letting you get it on. Yep. That's sex positions or hops. That's the game. I've been holding on to that for a while.
That game has legs.
It does have legs. I agree. Thank you. I feel like it would have been. I was really into it when I first created it, but we just didn't have time to play it.
You're a ninja about it.
I was a super ninja about it. I was being quietly having sex with this game.
But I think that's episode 173. Please, Chuggalos, put March 18th tentatively on your calendar. We don't know a time yet.
That's 18.
JT just did 18 for our hearing impaired folk that can't hear what we're saying.
10. Oh, 10? I got to do it because Skype's going to cut us off. 10.
Yep.
8.
10 and 18.
10,
so
it's hard to do finger stuff while you're
talking. I think this episode title is going to be Dirtily. I think
Dirtily. I like that. I like that name.
Dirtily. It's gonna be like Prince, Eminem, Ellen, Oprah. It just only needs one word. JT, those are my thoughts. What do you have to take us home?
To take us home, I just want to say, that's it. Episode 173. Thanks
Nailed
for
it.
joining us.
In the can.